This show is brought to you, as always, by Victor Nawrocki Realtor, serving Disney and the greater Orlando area with celebratingflorida.com and disneyatyourdoorstep.com. The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Nawrocki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Nawrocki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him The Solo Show sent you. It started, as these things often do, with a very simple idea: to bring people with a common love of Disney and the Disney theme parks together.
Hello and welcome to the very first edition of The Solo Show. I am Stan Solo.
With laughter.
Like, the crowd lost their minds. Like, lightsabers were dueling in the air. Like, people were running up and down the aisles like Muppet hands. You know, it was pandemonium. It was crazy.
And good humor for all.
It's the 50th episode, not the 50th anniversary.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Jeez, how old do you think I am?
Through good times.
One thing everybody knows about me, I get the name wrong every single show, so don't feel bad.
And hard times.
How was your June?
Do you want me to be honest?
Sure.
June sucked.
Yes, you had a really rough June. You did.
I lost my puppy dog 2 weeks ago, and I just... Yeah, all the joy's been taken out of my world right now.
Through medical emergencies.
And for those of you that don't know, voiceover guy Ken, he had open heart surgery. I saw him a couple of days ago. He's looking so much better. Actually, well, it was hard to tell. He had a mask on, dark glasses, and a hat, which is a great look for him. He looked good like that, I gotta say.
And a worldwide pandemic.
Every park that opens after COVID-19, I'm hoping to get somebody from their home park. So Shanghai so far is the only park that's open.
We've tried to keep you entertained and laughing.
And here we are. And I thought, let's bring on my Wombat Radio buddy and my Disney Night Live friend, and we'll do a big party.
My cheeks really do hurt. This was a lot of fun. I hope we do this again. Can we do this again, please?
Got to do this again because we got to have a tiebreaker.
We could just do this on a regular Saturday night.
We could do this.
$100,000 pyramid.
Yeah. So with that, Ken, take it away.
And now, for the 100th time, I am very proud to say, this is The Solo Show. On this adventure, we are so happy to welcome Victor Nawrocki to The Solo Show to sit in the guest host's chair as we try out our brand new segment, 20 Questions with Victor Nawrocki. It's going to be a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, and a good time for all. And so now, please welcome your host for the 100th time, actually technically the 99th because I've done 100 shows and I took one from Stan. Here's Stan Solo!
Okay. Sit down. All right. I've been doing this long enough. I know you guys don't need it. All right, that's enough. Sit down. Hello and welcome to another edition of The Solo Show. I am Stan Solo as always, and joining me today is my voiceover guy, Ken. How are you doing today, Ken?
I am great as always. In fact, Stan, if I was any happier, I'd be unconscious.
So as you said at the introductions, this is our 100th episode. So we needed, I wanted to have Ken on the 100th. I also wanted to have this guy. This guy's very special to the show. He pays the bills. It's guy. Victor Nawrocki. How are you today, my friend?
Terrific.
All righty. So we're going to do something a little bit different. This is a brand new segment that we're going to do.
I'm honored.
Yeah. So it's a new segment. 20 Questions with Victor Nawrocki. All right.
Yay.
Okay, and Victor, you don't know what to
pronounce my name right. I love it.
Oh yeah, I've been practicing. I think it's the first. I've been on what? Well, I guess I've been 99 shows. Ken, you've been on 100 shows.
Yes.
Yeah,
We were talking about that. You missed the one, and I took over for it. I mean, I did try to push you out at one point about 50 episodes back, but the fans came to your defense and said, no, we don't want him. We want Stan.
Yeah, right. I get more letters saying that they like Ken more than I get letters saying they like Stan. I don't know what it is. Everybody likes Ken. So we're going to do 20 questions with Victor Nawrocki. This is a new segment. I figure if somebody's listening to the show and you want to come on and answer these 20 questions, send me a message and we'll see about having you on and do the 20 questions with you if you would like. So Ken, do you want to, Victor, let's start off. How are you doing there? I haven't talked to you in like forever.
I am doing great. I mean, it's been very, very warm here. You know, luckily I don't have a job where I'm out in the sun all day. So, you know, but it's been, you know, I got in my car and the car said 108 degrees in it. And, you know, but it I guess you get used to it. I know when I'm go up north and it's cold, I am colder than the other people. So, here I'm less hot than other people. So.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's been warm, but but I don't complain about it. I like it.
Alrighty. So Ken, do you want to start us off with these 20 questions?
Sure, I can. But before I do, I just want to say, Victor, looking at your Facebook page, which I do very frequently, I got to tell you, you're the best dressed guy on the internet. Absolutely, bar none.
Yep, I try to. I always try to dress up at the parks because it starts a conversation with fun, and it's sort of I mean people take pictures with, and I'm like, I'm only wearing a hat and a shirt. What the heck? You know?
You always look like you're having more fun than everybody else around you. So that's amazing.
I get my money's worth out of the photo pass. That's for sure. That's
because he is having more fun than anybody else. When he's
I must get 1,000 photos a year. You know, but I love it.
Well, just be grateful that you're not spending all that money on film anymore.
Oh my God, yeah.
So 20 questions with Victor Nawrocki. Victor, let's start off with the basics. Where are you originally from?
I'm from New Jersey. So northern New Jersey, not far from New York.
Okay.
Right. And how did you get into Disney?
Oh, well, I would say my first real encounter was my father's research. We came down when we were 12. I was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And I know we stayed over at Cocoa Beach at night, and I remember driving. I'm so stupid, but I remember driving around and seeing like the residential area and asking my mother, who was driving, if we could go into some of the residentials so I could see where the I Dream of Jeannie house was. Okay, so that was a little silly. And still didn't find it anyway. but and then that morning we left really early in the morning, and we drove. We must have left, and then we got on World Drive, where I ended up living on the other end of World Drive in Celebration, and we drove into World Drive, and it was ridiculous. Cars were overheating. People were by the side of the road on World Drive with their cars overheated. Then we finally got through the gates and parked. I don't remember if we took the tram to the monorail, but we definitely took the monorail in, and we saw the Contemporary, which was the first thing. And I'm like, "Oh, Dad, what is this?" And he goes, "Oh, that's their hotel." And I said, "Well, why didn't we stay there?"
Because it's $28 a night.
Yes, it probably was. But you know what I thought was really funny with my father was that he knew, he said it was booked up for 2 years. Okay. And yeah, at the time. Yeah. So, I mean, and we were only going to stay like one night because we were doing a whole tour. And then we got into the park, and he must have bought a lot of tickets because we went on a lot of rides. I know we did Pirates of the Caribbean. I know we did Haunted Mansion. I know we did maybe did Carousel of Progress. We did the Teacups. We did a lot. Oh, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah.
Was it just you and your mom and dad, or was it just you
Mom,
and your dad?
Mom, dad, and my sister. My sister always, because I remember so many things about it. And my sister always says, I can't even believe. I remember how the order that we sat on down in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Because our mother went first, my sister, my father, and then I was at the end. Yeah, and so I remember all, and then I remember that my sister and mother didn't go on the Teacups. I went on the Teacups with my father. So I remember, and that's what got me into Disney World. And I also remember the terrible, terrible food.
Really?
Back then, I think it was just awful. It was
hot dogs and French fries only.
I got a hamburger. I remember getting a hamburger, and it was like cooked yesterday.
Oh dear.
So it's surprising now that the food there for me sometimes is better than the rides. I love going there to eat. So that's what got me started. And then I came back with my sister in, I think it was 92. And it was her and her family. And she had 2 kids at the time. And we stayed at what was called Dixie Landings.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
now Port Orleans Riverside.
Yes. And that was absolutely incredible. I mean, it was just, and so we would get in, my sister would, for the evening, and then I would run out, take I can never remember the name of the boat ride, but the Saskawil River, and take that boat.
Sasagula.
Yes, that's it. And I would take that into Downtown Disney, which it was called, each night, like 3 nights I did that. And I would come back late. And it was taking the boat ride at night is magical. It really is magical. I think that's why those 2 resorts are like my favorite. Just because of the availability of the boat ride. Because what fun is it to take a bus to Disney Springs? Come on.
Yeah.
But I don't like it the way it's set up now with the one port, and then you have to be all the way on the other side of the Rainforest Cafe, then walk all the way in. It's like, come on, give me a break.
It's a long walk for sure now.
It is. It's a long walk. And, a lot of people can't walk like that, I mean, I could do it, but it's a pain in the butt.
But to be honest, I'm glad it's on that side and not the other side where Cirque du Soleil is and all that, I have to say, because it seems like all the stuff I like is on that part of Disney Springs.
Okay. Yeah. But they have a launch that's near Boathouse, which would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all like shut down and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. They look trying to save money while they're making billions a year. But anyway.
Alrighty, Ken, you're up.
Don't hold back. Say what you feel, Victor. So tell us something about some of the jobs you did before you decided to become a realtor.
Oh, well, you know what? I was in marketing and sales. So it wasn't, I so wish that somebody had said to me, you'd be perfect for real estate 30 years before they did, because I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And it, I used to drive 60,000 miles a year.
Oh, good Lord.
So it was sick. It was really,
so was this for like a newspaper or a radio station or what?
Oh no, it was just sales and marketing for for manufacturers of products. I was very fortunate that I got products that I would buy myself rather than something that I didn't believe in. I still use most of the products that I worked for. So that was very good, but you're always working for someone else. And if you have a good idea, you better keep your mouth shut, because they will either take it or blame you for it.
So what got you into becoming a real estate agent then? You said somebody suggested to you.
two of my friends. Well, my cousin's husband was in real estate, and another friend of mine kept, and it wasn't like they just said it off the cuff. They must have said it 20 times to me, and I was like, why am I going to do it? Real estate, And I had bought a house down here in Florida as a vacation rental, and my experience was on a scale of 1 to 10, -10. It was probably I experienced so many things because the people I was working with weren't being forthright with me. They weren't clearly presenting the picture. And the first person that I worked with actually lied through her teeth, because at the time there was certain builders and certain were offering really great commission to these people. So she would send me to these houses that she was going to do well off of, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted a house that I could rent out, use occasionally. And she didn't really know anything about short-term rental.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she didn't, and when I said things that were incorrect, she didn't have any, no, that's not really the area you should be in. This is really popular, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted me to buy new construction. I wanted to buy a resale, that was a foreclosure, because there's nothing better. Listen, if something goes into foreclosure, it's better for an individual to buy it than a corporation.
Why is that?
Well, because the corporations will use it for a money-making thing to choke out as much money from individuals as possible. I, as a person, if I do well with it, that's good for the economy. If these corporations come in, or hedge funds that were buying up the homes at the time, if you see hedge funds buying up a home, they're doing their research. Go and get what they're buying. So a lot of them were buying, so I wanted that. I wanted a foreclosed property because it would be a good deal. She sent me to new construction, 1 story. I wanted 2-story. I wanted a view. She sent me no view, $80,000. But here's the key point. It was $80,000 on over what I would be approved for. What the hell?
Wow.
I mean, honestly, what are you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a month later, she called me and she goes, well, you said you were going to think it over. What are you thinking? I said, I'm sorry. I already bought another house. And she goes,
good for you.
And she goes, Victor, I thought you were an honest person.
Oh, dear.
My head was really like, it's going to explode. You didn't send me to anything that you said that I asked for. And what I asked for, I actually was able to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and she says, well, she said to me during the process, oh, Victor, this is Davenport. There's no foreclosures here. Well, once I got my license, I realized that there were 40% of the sales during that year were foreclosures.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And you have to take foreclosures off the market, so it helps the people who want to maintain the value of their property. If you take the foreclosures off the market, less competition. So.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, and then I got what I wanted to. So.
Well, so you found the place you were looking for, but I mean, how often were you going down to Florida before you moved down there?
Not much, actually. I couldn't. I would. I'm just like, I'm a cheapskate. So. So.
Well, not so much a cheapskate. It was expensive. Like,
but I figured if I see that I've had a time that wasn't booked in the house, I would see if I can get off of work, fly down, and stay in my own house.
Yeah.
So, but it turned out I only did that once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did it. So I did it like in November of that year. And then.
Was it because you weren't able to go down, or because the house was always booked?
It was because, you got it right. The house was always booked.
Nice.
I looked over, when I was buying the house, I looked over 100 different rentals, to see, and I looked at I did Muku research, and I kind of just like figured, okay, this is what I need to make a house rent well.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had I know you can't see it now, but I wish I had a Toy Story room like I have now in one of my houses. But I don't know when Toy Story came out, but that would have been a great room.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So anyway, so I that's why I have theme rooms in my house now. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I lost the train of thought.
So you didn't go down too often. You didn't go down nearly as often as you.
No, I didn't. And then after buying a second home that I was renting out, I lost my job. So I was like, oh, really? Oh, this is lost my job. Okay. So what do I do when I lose my job? I go and buy a third house.
Why not?
Why not?
In for a penny, in for a pound, right?
Well, you know what? I tell you, that house, I went to what they don't have anymore, where the banks would have an open auction, and they'd have 400 or 500 seats in this ballroom at a hotel, and they'd say, okay, this house is up for market. And what they would do is, well, actually what they did is they'd put 4 houses together and they'd put them on the market, and you just keep bidding. And then the person that bids the highest can pick which one of the 4 they want. Then the last 3, they do the same. And then the last 2, and then the last 1. Well, I was there. I came there, and now they don't do this anymore. This is when they had lots of foreclosures and homes they had to get rid of. So I come in. The place is basically empty. There's 20 rows of seats, and the last 2 rows are filled up. And the guy's going. The auctioneer's like, "Come on up front. Could you please come up front?" Nobody came up front. So I just sat there and I'm like going, what's going on? And so there was this really nice house that was built in 2005. And I wasn't thinking I was going to bid on that at all, because that was like, that house is going to go for a lot more than I can afford. And so what happened? So they started the bidding. No one bid.
Wow.
And they're like $50,000, $50,000. And nobody's saying, and one person raised their hand. And I'm like talking to I was with a realtor at the time who was very nice and very helpful. Even though she wasn't making nothing off of this. And then I said, so if I bid now, do I get it if no one else bids? She goes like, and I was like, okay, 60,000. And I'm like, nope. And they're like, does anybody want to pay more than 60,000?
Wow.
And I'm like, and they're like, all right, 60,000. Now I didn't get it for 60,000 because they had final approval over the highest bid.
Okay.
And they kept coming back to me and I said, no, I'm not going to bid higher. No, I'm not going to bid higher. And finally they said, what I said, they said they came back with 120 after they said their price that they wouldn't do more than was 150. They wouldn't go less than 150. So the reserve, that's the name. And I said, no, 120. And then, I said no to 120. And then the next day I called them and said, I'll take, if it's still available and I got it. And the house had originally sold for 400,000.
Oh,
wow. Let's talk a little bit about some of your favorite things. What's your favorite park?
Oh gosh.
And why?
I actually like Hollywood Studios because I feel it doesn't get the love that
that's my favorite park too.
I like it. I like you can't beat Magic Kingdom, but I like walking down Sunset Boulevard, and I love, all that. I lived in LA for 14 years. So I'm familiar with all these things that they're replicating. Yeah. And it's really, farmers market, and all that stuff. It's really, for me, it's sort of nostalgic too. Because they have, everything. And then of course the new stuff that they have with Toy Story Land and all that is just amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. That's my favorite.
That's certainly one I want to visit.
Ken?
So,
have you done any of the Disney cruises?
No.
Oh, no.
I know. I should wear my outfits to the Disney. I think that I would be the hit.
Oh,
if you were to do a Disney cruise, is there a destination you'd want to do or a certain ship?
Land. I'd like to get to land really fast.
Have you visited any of the other parks in the world?
No. No,
Not
oh,
a-
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Disneyland. I mean, that's just like it just there is a different feeling there. But the situation, the way Epcot and Magic Kingdom are laid out, of course, it's when you're at Disneyland, you're in the middle of a city. When you're at Disney World, you feel like you're an oasis. It's away from everything, but big deal.
Yeah.
You're on a ride. What do you care? So, but yeah.
What other parks in the world would you like to visit?
I would like to go to the Paris one. Definitely, I would love to go to the Paris one. I don't know. The Singapore one seems really interesting too, but I would love to see what the different Pirates of the Caribbean is like, because I love Pirates of the Caribbean. So I know they have a lot of holograms and things like that. So I would love that, but I don't think I said I'm a cheapskate. I'm not going to Singapore just to go to a park that I could go to around the corner. I mean, I could see the park from my house.
So we got parks you've never been to. I'm guessing there's a bunch of you haven't done any of the ships. I'm guessing Alani. There's a lot of Disney stuff you could still do. What is your number one bucket list item?
Oh, gee. I would like to go on the. I think I've seen the pictures. It sounds awesome. So yeah, I would definitely like to go on the.
Well, you're just 2 hours away from the port.
Yeah, I know. That's only
it's 2 hours. Pretty like 45 minutes from the port, I think.
Yeah, I'm on Royal Caribbean. I'm a diamond.
Okay.
And when I go on the Royal Caribbean ships, they treat you like you're a diamond member. So I love that. So I'm not going pay 3 times more.
Yeah.
Go to Royal Caribbean and be treated like royalty. I think I'll go on Royal Caribbean.
I'll tell you a quick story about a Disney cruise. I was on a Disney cruise and I was walking down the corridor and there was one of the ship's officers walking towards me in the whites and my shoelace was untied. So you would think he'd be a gentleman. He would say, "Hey, just let you know your shoelace is untied. I don't want you to trip or whatever." He didn't do that. He got down on his knee and tied my shoe for me.
Good Lord.
Can you believe that?
That's cute.
That's the surface right there. Now, at the time, I was dressed up like a stormtrooper. There's no way I'd be able to tie it myself. So I can see why he did it.
That might have had something to do with it then.
That might have something to do with it, why he did that.
Yeah.
So of the parks and of the places you've been, what's your favorite of the old school attraction?
It's gone now, but 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was my favorite. But I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I go on. I'm more left side. Adventureland, Frontierland, Splash Mountain. That side of the park. Tomorrowland, I don't do. Unless I could be that guy. I find that when you're dressed up in Monsters Inc. with a hat,
be the churro guy a lot. You've got to be the churro guy every time.
I get it. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So
I get the churro guy every time when I go.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. They pick out the guy with the flashiest shirt every time. So.
Yeah.
If you were to work for Disney, what would your dream job be?
I have to give that some thought. Jungle Cruise operator.
Really?
Yeah, I would love telling them. I love that.
I think you'd be a good Jungle Cruise.
I was just thinking that. I think you'd be amazing at.
Yeah. Well, you've heard of the Jungle Book. It's right over there. These are my favorite one is I'd like to point out my favorite flowers.
There's one.
There's one.
Yeah.
There's one.
Or when they go, there's hibiscus and in the water is low biscus. Sea biscuits. That's it. Sea biscuits. Yeah, I love that one.
What's one with the rocks? A lot of people take these rocks for granite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's actually it's sandstone, but a lot of people take it for granite.
Yeah. I love the Jungle Cruise is such a good ride. It is.
It's so much fun and it's so well done, and it never seems to break down. Knock wood. I just think it's the cutest thing, and but it really takes someone who loves doing it to be good at it. They have to really love doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that one of the very first rides to open up in the parks too?
I believe it was, yeah.
If not the first.
Yeah.
So
and it was originally supposed to be a serious attraction. It was supposed to be educational.
Oh, okay.
the passengers were kind of sitting there and they weren't really interacting. They were kind of bored out of their mind. And so one of the skippers kind of started telling jokes here and there. And this got back to Walt.
How
And
cute.
Walt was like, why is this guy telling jokes? Like, I don't think this is a good idea. And they said, well, the guests seem to like it. So Walt said, okay, well, let's see if I like it. So Walt got into the skipper boat by himself with his arms crossed, staring at the guy. Okay, let me see your shtick. Could you imagine this kid doing this? So he went around with Walt, arms crossed, staring at him. And he did all his little jokes that he would do. And Walt got off and said, I love it. It's going to be jokes from now on.
That's great.
And that was how the jokes came to be.
Yeah. That is one. I don't mind. I know they've done a lot of changes to it recently, but I don't mind them. I think it's better the way it is. I to be honest with you, I did not like the headhunter. I don't like the imagery of that. And so a bunch of monkeys, that's cute, you know.
What's your favorite new attraction? The ones that are coming out these days.
Let's see.
So, Toy Story, Star Wars.
I love this
Guardians?
Slinky Dog. Well, I'll tell you,
Passage.
I love everything that's new. I mean, I love them all. There hasn't been anything that I haven't liked. I loved the Ratatouille ride. I did it 3 times in a row, which is apparently my limit. Because I was
How were you able to do that? How were you able to get 3 times in a row?
Annual pass holder event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then I went to Guardians of the Galaxy when that had the pass holder event, and because for some reason I don't get the notices when they have a pass holder event. They send them to an old email that I haven't had for years, so that drives me crazy because I'm like that, and I'm like, I call in, and why would it be sent there? So I don't know what I'm going to do next. That got a little annoying because I had to sit online for 2 hours. I could have sat online and outside for 2 hours. And wait,
You could have ridden it.
Yeah.
And you would have got a ride out of it at least.
Yeah. But at least I got on it, and I think it's the most amazing ride. It's well worth if you have the time to wait, but I certainly wouldn't stand there in this hot sun for 2 hours and wait. I wouldn't do that at all. I think you make yourself.
Would it be Ratatouille or Guardians and your favorite, or Slinky Dog? You don't pick one. Rules are one.
I like Ratatouille.
Yeah,
I really thought that was terrific, and I think I'm going to really love the Moana experience. I can't wait for that to come around. But my ride that I am most upset that got canceled, Mary Poppins. When I heard that, I was like, I was not a pleased person because I really was looking forward to that. They originally was
it an attraction or just an area? I thought it was supposed to be like a Cherry Tree Lane area.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they really didn't announce too much details, but for it to be halted, it must have cost money. Originally, the where Peter Pan is in Magic Kingdom, that was going to be a Mary Poppins ride instead of a Peter Pan. But what I heard was that Roy nixed that. He said, no, let's make that the same. And but man, I would love a Mary Poppins ride, so I think that would be really, really good. So
that kind of leads into our next question here, because again, people, make sure you're visiting Victor's Facebook page. You posted a picture fairly recently of meeting Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah,
wonderful. I'm so envious of you for that. I'm so jealous of.
It was funny what happened with that, because I got for some reason I got an email about this event. And I was like,
because you still had that email back then.
And I said, let me call and check on it, and turned out that I knew the guy who was one of the people running it. And because I was like, I don't know, is this a scam? So then I called my sister and I said, should I do this? Should I fly out to Los Angeles, meet Dick Van Dyke? And she goes, I've been hearing about Dick Van Dyke since you were 5 years old. Go.
Get
And
on
I'm
the
like,
darn plane.
yes. Yeah. So, so it was nice to go out there for something like that. So
I have a feeling that I know the answer to this question is, what is your favorite Disney movie?
By far, Mary Poppins. By far.
I thought for sure you're going to say Jungle Book after all that.
Yeah. I mean, I like the ones that sort of came out when I was a kid too, like Herbie the Love Bug. I mean, oh my God, that was great. But I will tell you, and I said this to Dick Van Dyke when I was at the event. I remember when I was 5 years old watching it. We went to a drive-in, and at the end of the movie, when they were doing the titles and they did the jumble of Dick Van Dyke's name, and when they revealed it was Dick Van Dyke, I stood up in the back of the seat and I was like yelling, "I told you that was Dick Van Dyke!"
Oh, that played the old banker.
Yes. Oh my God, that was like the greatest, the great, and to be able to tell him that was amazing. And I also told him the same story twice because I was so nervous. Anyway, so but he sat right across from me at the table. I was very excited.
Did he get up on the table and start dancing? I know he's 90 years old, but he does that all the time.
Oh yeah, I have videos of everything he did. He performed with his group, they're called the Fantastics, and he sang little melodies and stuff. And that's all. I have it on my Facebook.
So that brings us to our next question. What's your favorite Disney song?
Actually, it's "Stay Awake" from Mary Poppins.
Or
and Feed the Birds.
Yeah, I like Feed the Birds.
That whole movie, everything in it is exceptional. Everything in it is exceptional, and it just takes you on a nice, gentle ride. And it's just, the second movie, it's good. It just doesn't have the same feel, but I don't think you could capture that type of magic. It doesn't change the original. So
yeah,
for me, it was, I hope they do with another one. And my idea is this: Mary Poppins, When Mary Met Bert. So a prequel.
Oh, like a prequel.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
So
I'd actually like to see that, actually.
So Bert, because there's a lot of things that you could use as clues that, like Bert, she says your blood is blue. Well, that's an expression of someone who's royalty.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Bert was royalty at one time. And I think that would be unbelievable.
There's a story there.
And then,
that is a great idea.
And then she sees him 30 years later, and he's all grown up.
Yeah, because there's a lot of references that she makes towards that she knew Bert in the past, obviously.
Yes, they do. They knew each other very well. So, I mean, I sort of missed him in the, I didn't like a lot of the dialogue they gave Dick Van Dyke in the movie, but the one line that he had where he goes, "A little birdie told me," I had to leave the theater. I was laughing so loud. It was so funny. So funny. That was like the greatest.
So I'll throw a little idea in there for you. Let's have Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke together at the opening of your sequel, talking about how they met, and then we dissolve to that, because right there's magic.
Yes, I think so. I think so. But that's why I say I never should give people ideas, because I'll get fired for doing it.
No, now you just got to raise the funds and get this movie
I know.
rolling.
Now, listen, all I need is $40 million.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's all I need.
I got a 10 on me here somewhere, I think.
And it's Canadian, so it's only 8.
Yeah. So speaking of money, you've got a budget of your own, however much you need. If you could build your own attraction, what would you build?
Oh, well, beyond the Mary Poppins ride, that's a tough one. What would I build? I know what I always wanted when I go to the parks is a collapsible popcorn bucket, because that drives me
that's
crazy.
A good idea.
It drives me freaking crazy. They have this big thing lugging around. So,
Or you do what I do and just never let it get empty, because as soon as it's empty, you refill it again. It's mine's never empty.
Yeah, I've got. Let me. Well, you can't see on the thing, but I got.
Yeah.
There's my.
Speaking of popcorn, what's your favorite snack on property?
Okay, well, actually, it's not popcorn. Mine is the caramel apples.
Okay.
Yeah, I love.
Available all over the property.
Yeah,
Most bakeries. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to get it at the confectionery or something like that. That is, that's one that I really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was there on my birthday, and I was like really annoyed because like I had my birthday button on and everything like that. I'm like, where's the freebies? You know, I didn't get any freebies. You're supposed to get freebies when you have a button on. And so finally, I went up to the ice cream shop there at the corner, and I was passing by, and I said, and she goes, "How's your day going?" I said, "Well, not too good. It's my birthday, and nobody's giving me anything free." and she was like, "What would you like?" And she went in there and got me 2 scoops with the ears, and I was like in heaven because I didn't have to pay for it. Yeah,
you got your Disney magic.
That's my magic. Yeah, but I love the ice cream. When they do it with a little Disney-esque thing, of course, the premium bars. Sometimes I'll wear my shirt that is Mickey Premium Bars on it, and I'll get a free premium bar. So I've gotten that at Epcot, and but you can't. I usually don't ask for it, but but yeah. So sometimes you get something like that. So that's always nice. And
staying with food, what's your favorite quick service restaurant?
I'm glad I was going to throw this one in, but I knew you were going to ask it. So I said, I'm not going to jump.
My thing, so
I'm not going to jump ahead on this guy. My favorite is Columbia House by far.
Okay.
I love Columbia House. Now I used to go there, and I used to get the macaroni and lobster.
Oh yeah.
And that was really good. And then they switched to macaroni and shrimp. And so I don't get that. And now but I'll have the salmon there, which is a much healthier thing to choose after everything else that I've eaten. So I'll get that there. And I love going there. A little disappointed that they don't give free refills anymore on the drinks.
They don't. I wasn't aware of that. Oh, wow.
They don't. And I think that's pretty annoying, because, it's just a nice thing that they used to have that not everybody knew about. But, I'd go up 2 or 3 times, and then, but, I'm like, I guess that's why they stopped.
That's why they stopped. Now we know why.
Well, I was going to ask, is that like a COVID thing maybe, or
it was before COVID.
Oh, okay.
It was before, so it's been going on for a while. But I used to walk in there, and there was a nice server who, in fact, I've got it right here. Nice server that would get me, would say, "Oh, I love your outfit. You're so cute." And then they get me like a frozen drink or something like that with a Mickey straw. So that was always nice. So.
Yeah, the salmon is my go-to at that restaurant as well.
The
lobster roll used to be really good, and I guess it got to be too much liquid or something. The last couple I've had of the lobster roll just didn't do it for me.
Well, I think they're putting a lot more non-lobster food in there.
Yeah, I think
they're putting celery and stuff like that, and
there was a lot of mayonnaise. It seemed like the last time, the last one.
Yeah, but it's still. I think I had it on that. I had that. I think when I went there on my birthday, I had that. But it's sort of like the size is about the size of an appetizer for me. So it's like it's not that, but Yeah,
but the salmon is still good. The salmon is still really good. What's your favorite table service restaurant?
Well, actually, I'm drinking out of a Liberty Tree mug right now. So I used to love the Liberty Tree. I haven't been there in a long, long time. But I used to. So I love the Liberty Tree. I don't want to skip over when I go to
this includes Disney Springs, so you can include Disney Springs in this.
Boathouse.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I kind of figured as much.
Yeah, I love the Boathouse, and I love it primarily because they have the macadamia nut turtle pie.
Ooh, I've never had that.
Oh, well, next time you come, we'll have that. So because I will tell you it's like 12 inches high. when they walk in with it, everybody just starts turning their heads and going, "What? Is that a dessert? Or is that a continent?" You know. And I go, like, you know, and then I'm like, it was funny because I was sitting there and I was at the table by myself at this time because mother and sister had left for a minute. And I'm sitting there with this thing in front of me and all these people are like turning around, looking and gawking. And I just slowly took the plate and pulled it closer to myself. And it was funny. So it was that is a great place. I also like, although many people don't like it, I like Tony's restaurant in Town Square.
Really?
I love it. Doesn't matter. I think it's great. I love the ambiance. I've enjoyed the food when I eat there. You know, so I love that. I've had 2 bad experiences with Mama Melrose. You know, so I want to give it another try, but when you bend your knife trying to cut the chicken, that's probably not a good sign.
I've never eaten that at Tony's or Mama Melrose.
Oh, well, Tony's
I've never done.
Everybody seems to like Mama Melrose's. So, via Napoli. Oh my gosh. You know, I think that's the best pizza I've ever eaten via Napoli. So, I mean, it's hard to say my favorite one.
And you're from Jersey. And you're
I was
saying
just going to say that. A Jersey guy is saying that's the best pizza.
Oh, it's terrific.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, they just revoked your membership. You can't go back now.
You're not allowed back into Jersey now.
Yeah, ever.
Oh,
Okay, believe it or not, we're at question number 20.
Okay.
Believe it or not, we're at question number 20. And,
wow.
and Ken gets to ask your favorite question. Go ahead, Ken.
Oh, do I get a drum roll or anything here? Or?
Yeah, you could just add it in later.
I'll throw it in there. Yeah. Okay. Completely un-Disney related. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke.
Oh, of course you do.
No, because you know what? Because the reason I don't do karaoke is because I'd really like to be able to sing, and I don't want to sing badly. I would love to be on the stage singing in a musical comedy, and I can't do it.
So if you were to do karaoke, which song would you do? Moving right along by the Muppets.
Oh, that is a tough one. Something from Mary Poppins, probably. Supercalifragilistic.
There we go.
That'd probably be a good choice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Victor, this was a lot of fun. You're a great sport. I'm so happy you're able to come on for our 100th episode.
And the crowd goes wild.
So Disney at your doorstep is where you want to go if you want to see Victor,
Disney,
and you want to purchase a house in the Florida area.
Yep.
Anything else? What's coming up for you? You do your live shows every Sunday afternoon.
I just finished. I just did one earlier in a new community. That's all on Lake Apopka. It's got beautiful views of Lake Apopka, and there's so much coming up in the Horizon West section, and it's so surprising. It really is still remarkable to me that there's still land near Disney available to buy new houses. I can't fathom. And we got new roads coming in that are going to make Claremont a lot closer. So Claremont right now is 20-30 minutes away. Now it's going to be 10 minutes away.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. So, and they've got a lot of stuff coming in. There's 2 new parks coming in to the area. So the whole area is just, but it's surprising. You'd think it was all overdeveloped, you know, and it's really not. You're talking that the overdeveloped section is on the other side on the
Why doesn't Disney buy that property and open up a 5th gate?
Well, some say that Disney did own the Horizon West area and sold it off. And it was, you really can't tell with Disney because they have all these different names for the land ownership and stuff. So they do own a very, very large section of land that's as big as Magic Kingdom. That is probably, just in the Horizon West area. From what I'm told, that is their land. But of course, like I look at it, I can't tell because it's like from name, but there's rumors. There's rumors.
I just have a question for you, and this is just strictly out of my own curiosity. Is it better to buy land and build your own place, or is it a better investment to buy a house that you love and is near what you want?
Well, here's the thing. You could get exactly what you want if you build it yourself, but the land is going to be expensive near Disney World. And so you're talking about houses that are going to cost $1 million, and it's if you've got all the money in the world, sure, go ahead and hire your architect, hire a builder, and build it for 2 or 3 times what you would get it for if you bought it through a builder. But it's not going to be as cheap as you think. It's not going to, unless you have some kind of connection, or if you can build it yourself. Hey, that's cool. But I haven't seen anybody be able to do that. It's less expensive to buy it from someone who's already building them. But if you're a builder, I'd go for it, But I haven't, the thing is, you have to do a feasibility study on the land, and you have to see if the land can have a house and all that. And so far, I haven't really seen anybody do it around here. When I look at houses that are for sale, they're in communities. So,
yeah.
But hey, I'd love to be outside of a community that doesn't have an HOA fee.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. If I have a pool, why am I paying for a community pool?
Yeah.
So,
alrighty, it's time to wrap this up. I want to thank you for coming on, Victor and Ken, for joining me on the 100th show, even though you're on every single one of them, even the ones I'm not on.
Oh, Stan, sorry, I just wanted to say quickly, Stan, you're the reason I'm on this show. Back a couple of years ago when you first hit me with the idea about doing your own show and asked me about doing some voiceover work for you. This has been so much fun. It's really my hobby. It's really something that I enjoy greatly, and I'm so happy that you asked me to be a part of it. Even the little role that I play, I love every chance I get to be on the show, and it's so much fun for me. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for 100 times the fun I've had.
Yeah. I'll see you in the next 100 shows.
Okay.
I'm just joking. It's great to have you on the show, Ken. You're the heart of this. Alrighty, Ken. Even though you're sitting there, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.